As we are very well known, our College of Pharmacy happens to be one of the flagships in the entire university. Our quality, as attested by both the NUC and the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria accreditation of our pharmacy program, reflects in the high number of applicants who apply to us for admission every year. Out of about 2,000 applicants for admission annually, we are only able to admit what our quota can take, which is far less than the number of applicants. This quota is guided by available facilities. I wish to announce with pride that our pharmacy graduates are making waves all over the world. This is as a result of the quality education that the college provides. Over the past years, we spent about 550 million, giving the college a much needed facelift. That is in 2018 alone. Our ultimate goal is to give the college a befitting, purpose-built structure in the foreseeable future. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again, and I wish you journey mercies as you go back to your various destinations. God bless you. Thank you.
Please, let's give the Vice Chancellor a round of applause. Thank you. Let me quickly recognize the presence of Professor Ehis Enato, a professor of clinical pharmacy and pharmacy practice from the University of Benin. You're welcome, sir. Please give him a round of applause. Also, Professor Okeri, Chairman, PSN Edo State, and Professor of Pharmaceutical Chemistry. Please stand up for recognition. Give him a round of applause. I'm also pleased to recognize Dr. Okonofa, Director of Pharmaceutical Services, APS Edo State. Dr. Okonofa, please. Please give him a round of applause. Assistant Commissioner of Police, Barrister Rashid Afegwa. Please stand up for recognition wherever you are. Thank you very much for coming. Then also I'm pleased to recognize the presence of Chief Superintendent of Immigration, Lord of Blessing, Unche Manze. And also Mrs. Obude Omije Jude, a journalist, news builder, columnist, and executive director. Thank you very much for coming to today's event. Without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, may I respectfully invite the Honorable Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, the Edo State, Honorable Paul Ahopambo, to please come and give his special remark. Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, the Odio University, ably represented, the Dean, College of Pharmacy, please allow me to stand on existing protocol. Let me start by congratulating the graduates who very soon will be the latest pharmacists in town. I am very elated to be here because what we are talking about now is education. And you know what it is. In a society such as ours, when you praise a man, you also look at the era in which that man lives. If you look at our society where somebody sways and swagger due to the superabundance of wealth, you still have other person in that same society who will be a priest in a different temple. That is the knowledge seeker, the educated person. That man who has his books and other purveyors of knowledge as his prime possessions. That man who has his library as his mansion, and of course his study as his temple. So he is a priest in a different temple. That is why I must congratulate all of you today, because the proprietor, Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawari Benedion, has done a lot in extending the frontiers of education. From the Benedion Education Center, he set up this school, the first private university in Nigeria, and it has remained standard even as seasons fall on themselves. So I admire him through and through. And Chief Frank Harewele is here. He will agree with me that Chief Igbenedion is not just an ordinary person. He is a spirit sitting on the human chair. Chief Igbenedion is the last descendant of the Queen of Sheba. So I want to thank him for what he has been doing. And I pray that God continues to protect and keep him. Talking about education, of course, the president of China, when he was asked, how do you manage to govern a population of over 1.3 billion people? He said, I educate the people and they govern themselves. That's what he said. Still on education, our own sage, the late Obafemi Awolowo, he said that anybody who has no access to books, particularly the right type of books, must suffer intellectual malnutrition and atrophy. Still on education, Alexander Poe, in his work Essays on Criticism, said it, that a little learning is a dangerous thing. We must drink deep or taste not the Pierian spring. Still on education, Amilcar Cabral, in his book, The Unity and Struggle of Opposites, he said it, that in a society where the realm of dialectics is yet to be consummated, and where nothing has been done to enhance the social consciousness of the people, illiterates are philosophers. Then, still on education, Frantz Fanon, in his second book, White Man's Black Skin, had this to say: our schools might be good today in training us into doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, engineers, and what have you, but they are poisonous too. It is not only what we are taught that does the harm, but how we are taught. Our schools teach us by pushing us around, by taking our will out of us, by making square hypothetical slaves from us. Authorities add it. But the students can say no if they wish. And when we say no, we'll not only be withdrawing our membership, but denying continuity to the decadent society. So I see oath taking today as a symbol of your fidelity to your profession, the pharmacy profession. None of you will become a moral leper in Jesus' name. None of you will be corrupt in Jesus' name. Because we know corruption is not an accidental act. Because whoever is guilty of corruption always has the option to do the right thing, but he chose to be corrupt. And you know too that it is the inverse question. Without the inverse question, you don't go to the wide issue. Without a furnished tenancy, of course, no tribunal can adjudicate on the issue of rent. So, as you come into this profession today, after oath taking, I trust that the society wellness will be guaranteed, because you are all young men and women of full age and competent understanding. You have as your natural instinct the instinct to do good. I congratulate you and also our parents. You have not struggled in error. You have spent and you have not been betrayed. Our guidance have satisfied all necessary things, and today you are proud to have children worthy to be God's soul. So I congratulate you, our parents. I cannot in equity and good conscience conclude this without paying independent tribute to God Almighty, the one by whom all human beings are validated, and from whom all strength and virtue come. It is said, and rightly too, that he who does not understand the language of gratitude is not likely to be on speaking terms with God. This now brings us to the banquet of virtues. God made a sumptuous banquet for all the virtues. Humility sat humbly at the tail end of the table, being happy, feeling satisfied and comfortable. Charity was busy sharing out the meat charitably without rationing it. Patience sat quietly at the table, not rushing to be served first and not minding being served last. Faith and hope, realizing their close affinity, sat close to each other conversing. Everyone was having a wonderful time, except kindness and gratitude. They sat close to each other quite all right, but theirs was a proximity without community, and God wanted to know what went wrong. Or maybe perhaps they had not been introduced to each other. So God said, kindness meet gratitude, and gratitude, this is kindness. It was then they both realized how very close they ought to be, since it is kindness that begets gratitude. I want to show gratitude to our parents, the lecturers led by the Dean of Pharmacy, who himself is a human library. I mean a human library, an intellectual per excellence. I want to congratulate him because this is a wonderful feat. And as we take this oath taking today, my prayer is that never again will the food of the children be given to the dogs. You have all struggled and you get the benefit of your struggle. You are all labored and you get the benefit of your labor. No man will take your place in Jesus' name. I congratulate you once more. Thank you very much and God bless you.
And you are sitting down. Let's stand up and clap for this very erudite, sagacious, evident, very fast man. Honorable Commissioner, sir, I confess to you, sir, you mesmerized all of us here today. That was fantastic, sir. Indeed, you are fit and proper as Commissioner for Orientation. My prayer to you, sir, is that you should announce to us the next resumption class for your School of Orientation and Public Speaking, sir. We have inspired our literary skills. Some of us are not trying to remember some of those poems that we recited those times, but it's very fantastic, sir. Honorable Commissioner, sir, by the grace of God as the PRO of this university, sir, and with the kind permission of my Vice Chancellor, sir, I have a prayer on behalf of everybody in the United University, sir, which we want to send to the Commissioner, to the Governor. This operation wait and see that is everywhere in Edo State. We have been waking up every day in Okada. We have not seen our own. Please, sir, help us tell the governor we are waiting to wake and see a dual carriageway with street light in Okada. Am I not saying the right thing? Please help us tell our governor we're going to wake in Okada and see the good that is doing in Edo State. Thank you very much, sir, for taking time to come out to talk to us today. And we're fully and truly inspired. Without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite the ESA of Benin Kingdom, Chief S.O.U. Igbe, to the microphone to give us a word of wisdom from the word of the elders. Thank you. Please put your hands together for the high inform that Chief S.O.U. Igbe is humble to the dean and the host, the dean of the College of Pharmacy and the host of today. And I shall give maximum solidarity to your son, who is doing very well. Thank you very much.
The Vice Chancellor, all you fine and happy looking lecturers, professors of the university. Well, and those of you looking at me, you all look beautiful and nice. You know, whenever I stand before people who go to school to learn, I start wondering what you are learning. Well, this one is specific. Pharmacy, like my son there did some time ago. And standing here today, I remember the day I went with the Oba of Benin to Uniben on an occasion, looking like this. They were giving awards to the students. The first one came, Igbe. Another one came, the second one, Igbe. Another one came, and Igbe. He got 3 awards, and one of them was the Best Student Award for the When we finished and we were going, the other person said, yes, sir, that is better. They've been calling up and down. Is he one of yours? So I said, Your Royal Highness, yes, it's my son. Who wouldn't be happy to call somebody like that his son? His father is my most junior brother. So, I said I wondered whether you are actually studying. Because every time youths get together, it is the government has not given us a job. The government has not given us a job. But the little I know about education tells me that the goal of education is producing people like you who go to your communities and your society to make sure that you live happily along with the people you live with. That is, you provide a job for yourself that will satisfy you and ensure that people in the society with you are satisfied. Well, but these youngsters, some of them come to the house to ask me, please, Papa, I haven't got a job. I want you to help me. At times I ask, you want me to go out there and look for a job for you? They say no. Okay, go out, look for anybody who has a job to offer, And if you cannot access me, take telephone number or the name, come to me. Perhaps if I approach him, he will give you a job if he has. But, you know, when the day the Oba made me yes, he gave me what we call Uru, a big flute that you blow. Ooh, ooh. And he said, whenever I enter the palace, that Uru must be blown. It's quite unique. I didn't know that type of honor was awaiting me. But it was an honor which I couldn't really fulfill because I couldn't get anybody to blow the Uru. I employed one from Igun Street. Igun Street is only about 5 to 10 minutes walk from the palace. And my house is over 6 or 7 miles from the palace. So I told this young man, instead of using money to come to my house, and when you close, you use money to go back home, stay at home. I will always get to the palace at 11 o'clock. You come at 10 so that we don't miss each other. Come at 10. When I get there, you get into the car, bring your Uru out, the Uru out and blow it. And he said, thank you, sir. He worked for exactly 2 weeks and disappeared. At that time, I go to the palace only once a week on Thursdays. So he actually was engaged 4 times a month and he was getting 15,000 naira. I thought that was quite equitable. But I employed 2 others and they went the same way. Well, I was wondering, that I have 3 gardeners. I have a big compound, not house. I didn't say I have a big house. I have a big compound. I like trees, so I plant trees all over the place. So leaves will fall, and the compound required cleaning up every day. So I have 3 gardeners. None of them is local, because our people don't like to do hard job. And many of the youths around today don't want to do hard job. They want to put on ties, beautiful shirts, shining shoes, and walking about. Now, the Oba NY second, when he came to the throne, called me one day. All the chiefs were seated. And he said, "Yes, Lareo." That is, he said, "Come home." So I walked with him and I bowed. He said that some time ago, when Papa was alive, I came to see him. And we had a sound. Ooh, ooh. And he asked Papa, what is that? Are we having people blowing Uru in this place now? So yes. So his father told him, yes. When the Yasser comes to the father, he blows it. Ah, very good. Then he waited to breathe a little bit and he said, why don't you blow it for me now? Well, I've been caught red-handed because I have not been blowing. I said, Your Royal Majesty, I can't go and look for an Igbo man to come and blow Uru in Benin Palace. No Benin young man wants to blow. And it is the same thing with gardeners. They won't do that. You want a house cleaner, you won't do that. Why won't people be jobless? Because we can't all be lecturers and commissioners. The problem with us today is that we want government to do things for us. Now, I gave my definition of goal of education. Perhaps somebody will have a better one. But I think the reason we go to school is to prepare ourselves, to make ourselves useful to ourselves in our surroundings and useful to the people in that society. I don't think you have a better goal for education. But, well, those of you going out today, your goal is quite obvious to you. So I am not going to ask you what are your goals. But if I had asked you without telling you and I asked you to tell me the goal of your education, everyone I have asked has found it difficult to tell me the goals of education. When I get into a group of young people like I am doing today, I try to tell you that you have goals. What are your goals? I'm a villager. I grew up in a village and I left the village at 10 years to come and start school in Benin. And that was why I left Edo College at the age of 22. That is the great year, the age some of you are graduating here today. So the point I am making is that a lot of the young ones don't know what to do. They leave university and they start walking from pillar to post with the shoes all eaten up, looking for jobs. How could you have gone through secondary school, university? You never thought of what you were going to do when you leave school. I don't know, perhaps because I started working very hard when I was young, in the farm and all that. I have the impression that ordinarily, as a matter of fact, the Benin man doesn't have anything like idleness in the dictionary. But today, it is rampant. People are idle.